Howdy folks, welcome back to 50 Nautical Mile Arc. This is leg 8 of our Transcontinental series in the Carenado B1900D. And I have my frame rate counter up there just for a moment because I was adjusting frame rates. It's been a long time since I've visited my graphic settings. So I've been messing with things. I'm kind of distracted because if you look in that main door, you can actually see the lighting inside turned on. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. Anyway, if you look at our frame rates, we are bumping 40 frames per second. You want to aim for 30, and this is 40 frames with real world weather turned on, and it's getting to be evening, and we have this airplane which I kind of nicknamed the frame rate killer. And I say that because when I did this test with the Carenado, with the default Cessna, I was getting like 60 frames, but that was without weather. You turn on weather is like 42. So we do lose a little bit of frames because I'm recording and because of the aircraft. But look at this, 36, 37, 38, 37, 36 frames per second, 34 when we go over there. So I was getting really annoyed with like 15 to 18 frames per second with real world weather. I just couldn't handle it. So I finally admitted that my system isn't as awesome as I thought. My rig isn't as awesome as I thought. So I turned down some stuff. And honestly, on my huge 24-inch monitor in 1080p, I can't even tell I changed anything other than the improved frame rates. So I'm actually going to show you what I did. You might find this interesting if we go to our settings here. You go to graphics. So visual effects, the higher this is for me, the better my frame rates. If I bring this down to low, my frame rates dip to like 22. When I crank it up, we're at like 35-ish or so to whatever it was before, minus the loss for, or add back the loss for recording. Texture quality, again, the lower it was, the worse it was. I cranked it up to maximum and I get better frame rates. If I go one more to non-compressed, then I lose it. Anti-aliasing. So I used to run this at 4 times, which was the second to last setting, and that's kind of where my problem was. It looks better, but I lowered it to 2 times and I almost doubled my frame rate. Actually, I more than doubled my frame rates combined with reflection. Let's talk about in a minute. So I'm like, you know what? I think I can live with 2 times. We'll see. We'll see how it goes when we're in the air, though, in the long views of scenery. I may actually play with it during the flight, going back and forth between 2 and 4. We'll see. I keep shadows on. I refuse to turn off shadows. That's a huge part of immersion that I need in shadows. So world objects, that stays. I refuse to lower that. I would really like to go higher, but then we lose half our frame rates. But I refuse to lower that. That's part of the immersion. Reflection detail. Now, with anti-aliasing and actually before I even turned on anti-aliasing, turning reflection detail from maximum to minimal doubled my frame rates, and then it got half again. So, however you want to calculate it, we were at like 15 to 18, now we're at 40, which is more than double 18. So between reflection detail and turning on anti-aliasing, we've more than doubled frame rates. I will keep parked aircraft turned on. I will always do a full screen simulator. So these are my graphic settings now. So turn down reflection, turn down anti-aliasing, more than double frame rates. And that is with the Carenado Beach 1900D with real world weather at dusk. And we're not in a busy area, but I don't usually fly busy areas anyway. I don't usually go into like downtown urban areas all that much. I do like Minneapolis for like testing VFR type aircraft, which we have a new aircraft coming up a couple videos from now, but there I'll live with the lower frames. But to be where we normally type flying, where we're normally going to fly, especially on this series with real world weather in this aircraft, I will take my 30. Now it's 33 as it gets darker. I think more lights are coming on or something. Also test with where we face, but I will take it. I mean, there we go, 37, 36, 37. I'm so happy. Now let's see what happens when we hop in the cockpit, though. It's going to drop, so it drops to 22 because it's the frame rate killer. If I move around, though, how come my thing isn't working? Do I have to click in here? Let's try that again. There we go. Alright, so you know, you can still see how it's repeating command, but it's a little smoother. Ooh, that zoom in is nice. And that could be a little better. That's 28 frames though. So that's not a frame rate issue, that's just how it operates. Yeah, we're at 30 frames now. Over here, we're at 30. So that's not a frame rate thing, that's just how it's going to operate, probably because they're zoomed in. If we go like this, see now it dropped to 18, probably because my other monitor, which you can't see, is flaking out, and every time it does that, I lose frames because it's like trying to do something, I don't know. So now we're back up to 20. So yeah, I mean, our frames drop inside this cabin because this is a very heavy driven cabin, and I've known that. It's better than the old version, but it's tolerable, so we'll see how it is once we're in the air. When I do other aircraft, like the default Cessna and my other favorite aircraft, there we go, we're back in the 20s now, looking out the window. There's just so much going on in here. I guess we can turn off reflections, see what happens. No change at all. 18, 19, 18, not a single frame, which is fine. How about window reflections? Nope, nothing. No change whatsoever, so we'll keep those options on. But anyway, I'm much happier. I wish the cockpit were a little smoother inside, but I can always use my mouse and then it's smoother. But I'm really happy in general. So hopefully now, there's over 20. There we go. 25, 26 when we're not looking at the cockpit controls. It's just such a busy and, you know, intense cockpit that it really kills frame rates to be inside the aircraft. But anyway, we're going to spend most of our time looking out the window. Like, what if we do this shot? What do we get? 28, 29, 28, 29. How about this one? 27. Yeah. So good. So we're going to try this. Like I said, if the anti-aliasing thing drives me absolutely insane, I will turn it back up. But I'm hoping, see there I noticed some lower anti-aliasing a little bit. You probably don't notice. Depends what you're watching this on. You might not ever notice anyway. So there, now we're back in the 30s outside, although we spend most of our time inside, so whatever. But I'm very excited about this, especially because my computer is no spring chicken, and it's just a gaming laptop anyway. I know that's an oxymoron, gaming laptop, but it's done its job. I had a reason for buying it, like I explained during my studio tour video. But anyway, I just want to do a little frame rate update. I don't want to do a whole separate video on a frame rate update because that's kind of silly. Although I could go on, and I'm going on way longer than I thought I would. But I know you all watch this are interested in that type of thing. So we are going to turn off our data output now. If I can remember where in the world you do it. Nope. Shoot, how come I can't remember where to turn it off? Oh, it's over here. Data output. Frame rates off. There we go. So now we're going to hide the numbers. We're going to fly the sim. We're not going to worry about frame rates. We're just going to enjoy. I'm starting to notice some anti-aliasing things. Hopefully I can get over it because I like the frame rates. Alright, so real world weather's turned on, which is interesting because our Sky Vector said we're in a storm with 30 knot winds on the ground. But if you look at the weather in the sim, it's 20 knots from a totally different direction than Sky Vector said. Oh boy. Well, we're still going to take off on runway, what is it? 17. That's funny. It was 140 degrees when I checked, when I loaded the sim, and it changed. We're still going to take off on runway 17. We're still going to land at runway 11 at the other airport. Although if the weather doesn't change, we'll be landing with a gigantic tailwind. But I only printed the approach plate for runway 11. Well, we'll see what happens when we get there. I might have to bring up the Googles on my phone and find the other approach plate. Anyway, enough talking. Holy cow, am I chatty tonight. So, Leg 8, Transcontinental Series. We're starting where we left off, just outside Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Sand Springs at William Pogue Municipal Airport, Kilo, Oscar, Whiskey Papa. And we're going to fly to Springfield, Missouri, landing at the downtown airport, 3 Delta Whiskey, which, if I looked at the map correctly, is really in downtown Springfield, Missouri. I'm set up to take the instrument approach, the RNAV GPS-A approach into runway 11, because when I looked up the weather, when I started the sim, that was going to be landing directly into the wind. It was going to be great. But now, according to the sim, we're going to have a gigantic tailwind from the side a little bit. So we will have to see how that goes. I'm still going to plan on taking that route, though, just because we'll have a super long runway for this thing. All right, what are we doing? First thing we got to do, we got to check our fuel. I've been overdoing the fuel at 2 hours. We've only been flying for like 45 minutes at a time. I'm going to keep it 2 hours because I forgot to write down how long this flight is. Anyway, so 6:11 p.m. I started the sim at 6 o'clock. 11 minutes of blabbing. Wow, that's insane. All right, here we go. We're going to come down here. We're going to have the yoke for now. We're going to turn on the battery, avionics. All of our lights are turned on. I'm not going to show you the cockpit. I show you, or the cabin. I show you that every time. You don't need to see it every time. Tail flood and recog. We'll stay like that for now. We can turn off the map lights. Maybe get a frame or two back. I'm going to come over here. Autopilot EFIS is now on. Our flight plan and our GPS. In the interest of time, I'm just going to input this and you will see when I'm done what our flight plan is going to be. Okay, change of plan. I just had a complete epiphany here, which for everybody else is probably not a big deal, but I just realized because the weather changed on us, I don't need to Google a flight plan. I'm going to try to do this the way the GPS is done. So if you have not been watching the previous legs of this series, I've been entering my entire flight plan and approach plate manually because the GPS seems to send me off to nowhere. And it's probably my fault, but I haven't figured out why it does that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this the way you're supposed to and choose an approach based on the airport. That's what you're supposed to do. So we're going to select an approach. And we're going to do RNAV B because that's the other runway. And we can't do vectors because we don't have ATC. Let's do... E-tune is actually on here. Yes, we're going to do the E-tune. I actually have that on my sketch pad. So we'll do this. We're going to load it, but not activate it. And my huge Maine Coon is trying to flight sim with me. Move there, buddy. Okay. So, once we get flying a little bit, I will then come to the flight plan. And I will... See, there's that whole thing again. Hang on a second. E-tune and Fanga. So, but see, Fanga is so close to the airport. Am I just coincidentally choosing approaches that have holds? Because whenever I have a hold, I can never find my way out of it. And I always end up going nowhere. Just, I have to manually take over and go VFR because I can't figure it out. So, I guess what I'll do is I'm going... Oh, man. Why don't we just go direct to Fanga? Like this. And then the rest of it's in there. Right? So if I go back here. Okay. Okay, hasn't sent us the middle of nowhere yet. We'll keep an eye on that. And we'll see if we have to make any changes. Because whenever I have a hold, I can't get my way past it unless I go beyond the hold and go direct to the point beyond the hold. So we're going to try that. Hopefully it... Oh my goodness. Anyway, hopefully it works out this time. Switch that to GPS, radios and instruments. There's nothing to tune. We're using GPS the entire way. Altimeter and barometer. If we pull up that map and we go to the airport and we click on it like so, details tells us 299 That's kind of funny. Really? With real world weather turned on, it's 299 Okay, well we have to... There we go, 299 it is. Let's hop back outside here quickly. And oop, lights getting darker, like I said. Let's close the doors, remove static elements. Oh wow, that is so smooth. It is so nice to have actual usable frame rates. Holy cow. Oh, watch this door close. There we go. Even that's smoother, as you would expect it to be. Alright, what's my pedestal? 5. Parking brake is set. We're going to come over here. I have to adjust my headphone cable. Alright, fuel switches, which will get its own preset. Oh, even that's, oh my gosh, that's so nice. This will get its own preset in X-Plane 11.10, but we're not quite there yet. Fuel switches prop. We have to reset all this stuff because it gets funky monkey. Alright. External power, auto ignition for the right, and hold this down. When the turbine gets to 15%, we're supposed to introduce half or a quarter conditioner of the right. But, in the interest of time, I'm going to give a full fuel at 15. And both conditioners are going to go up because I only have one axis on my yoke for both. I say that every time, but I know not everybody watches every video. So we will let that go up and stabilize a little bit. Good enough. Right generator. Left engine begin start. And that'll just take off on its own because we already have the conditioner up. And there it goes. Generator, cover that. If we move over here, we'll see prop rotation on both. And we can look out here and we have prop rotation on both. Very good. Come back down here. AC bus, right and left. Rudder boost is between the seats. Climate is this one. We will turn the blowers and the temp, and we'll do manual cool and decrease so that it gets to be about 60 degrees in here. Turn on the furnace. While we're here, we'll test overspeed and our stall. And then we'll go to bleed valves, come down between the seats, and we'll do our cabin pressure, cruising altitude. We always do 16,000, so we'll set that to 17,000. Turn this all the way clockwise for the purpose of the sim. You would not do that in real life like that. Auto feather arm, generator ties closed. Next page, stall warning, pitot heat, anti-ice to normal. What is next? Prop sync and TCAS. And there we go. We are ready to go and taxi. Let's get those taxi lights on and the nav lights on. Anything else we need to do? No, we are ready. Ready to taxi. We'll do props to taxi. We'll hear that change. That is so cool. Let's come outside. We are going to taxi. What are we? So 17. We're taking off on 17. So let's let go of the parking brake. This thing will probably start to roll itself without any throttle at all, because that friction issue is completely gone. Let's not run into our fellow aircraft. What's happening when we go up front? Oh, that's a little smoother. Alrighty. Actually, let's just go this way. The runway 17. Oh wow, that moves nice. Still no throttle, by the way. This is all prop set to taxi. Oh my gosh, what a new experience with frames at work. Because keep in mind, if your frame rate is lower than 20, the sim slows down time, and it can really screw you up. And holy cow, is this amazing. Wow, this is insane. Why did I wait this many years? Oh my gosh, we're going so fast. That is just prop at taxi. That is no throttle at all. Why did I wait this long to play with settings like that? I guess I just wanted the eye candy, which I still have, and like I said, you probably don't even notice the difference. I barely notice the difference, but that's because I know what I'm looking for, because I made the changes and I have a huge monitor. But if you don't know what you're looking for, man, oh man. Wow, I feel like I just bought a brand new flight simulator. This is incredible. Alright, let's come out here and come to a stop and set the parking brake. We'll add the landing lights. We'll turn off cabin flood, which is in the back. We'll turn off overhead. And that goes to normal. That stays on. What else do we have? We are going to set our heading bug to runway heading, just in case something happens. We are going to do autopilot nav, and we are going to climb 2,200 feet per minute. So vertical speed 2,200, nav, alt select. That should be set. Runway heading, in case I screw up, we'll hand fly a little bit. Alright, the last thing we need to do is turn on our anti-collision to flight. Get our flaps down. We'll do both notches down. Let's just do one notch of flaps. Because, oh, there we go. And what else? Trim for takeoff. Sorry, I was distracted by something in real life. That's why I'm kind of discombobulated. Let's put our yoke back in, because then we can do our flight time. And we'll start it right now. And it's actually going to run normally because we have normal frame rate, so we have real time. Props forward, release the parking brake, spool up, and away we go. Holy cow, is this a new experience? Oh my word. Oh wow. I have to relearn to control my plane. This is crazy. Yeah, let's learn to fly it. Let's get up. Let's up, rotate. Oh my gosh, rotate. Gear coming in, flaps coming in. There we go. Nice. Ooh, I love that fog. So that's Sand Springs in front of us to the left, and Tulsa, Oklahoma, can't see, is over there. And why in the world did my alt select turn off as my whole autopilot got screwed up? What? Anyway, that's very strange. We're gonna hand fly anyway because this is an easy hand flight. Oh, I know what he did wrong. I didn't set my autopilot. Sorry, like I said, I was distracted by something in real life, so I missed a bunch of stuff. Oh well, let's bring this up to 17,000. Now we'll do alt select, and we'll climb at 20. I can't see that far. Climb at 2,200. Alt select. There we go. We'll level off, bring in props and fuel because we're completely out of control. I'm not paying any attention to what I'm doing. There we go. Engage autopilot. That'll take us over. There we go. Goodness gracious. What a horrible departure. Alright, anyway, what are we doing? We got to do some engine management. We're going to run into trouble. So let's bring the fuel back up a little bit. Bring the props back. We're good to go. Oh my goodness, what are we, 5,000 feet and climbing at 2,800 feet per minute. Alt select is enabled. We are following the nav, so we should come back soon and line up with it. Very nice. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's lightning? This is our first storm, everybody. Whoa. Whoa! Frame rate! This isn't... What? I didn't know what I've been missing. We're talking a couple years. I didn't know what I've been missing. This is ridiculous. I am at a loss for words. I don't even know what to say. Holy cow. And I don't even notice the major settings that I turned off or halved. I don't even notice that I lowered all these settings. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, this is ridiculous. Alright, let's see if we can get weather on here, because I know we have some. No, radar's on. Maybe this doesn't work. Maybe this doesn't actually do anything. Okay, I gotta regroup because I'm just... I don't know. We are in heavy cloud cover. And look at these frame rates. Look at this. If I jump back and forth. Wow. Oh my goodness. I just don't know. This is amazing. Let's take a screenshot of some of this here. That's amazing. Alright, well, we're almost at 10,000 feet, so it's time to turn off some lights. Turn these guys off. 10,004. What else is there to do? Nothing. I mean, this is a very easy airplane to clean up. You just engage autopilot and stuff. Alright, well, let's get our VNAV set up then. So if we go to our VNAV, and we put in, we want to be, well, first of all, what's it going to let us select? Finga. Okay, good. So we want, at Finga, we want to be at 3,100 feet. Oh my gosh, even scrolling through is way faster because it's real time now. Oh my goodness. 3,100 feet at Finga. And I want to do 1,000 feet per minute. So half an hour. Oh my gosh, the response when I click on stuff is instant now. It's not like half a second behind. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Wow. Here's what the flight plan looks like. I really don't care what the flight plan looks like because we're going to go right to Finga. Okay, I just gotta get over this. Huh. Alrighty, well, I guess there's nothing else to do. We're gonna level off at, whoops, I'm at 16,000. I guess someday we could do 17,000. There we go. We're gonna level off pretty soon, and we have top of descent in, well, that 30 minutes is gonna come way down very quickly once we level off. So I'm just going to enjoy a real flight simulator for a moment, and hope you enjoy it with me. So what I'm trying to say is, I'll catch you at top of descent. So we've almost reached top of descent already. We haven't been flying very long. It's only been, I can't even see it actually, 20 minutes about. Of course we have, we have a ways to go, but we're about to come down. So what a difference this is with the sim. With frame rates, it's actually in real time now, I guess. So our flight times are going to be way shorter than I thought. I guess I could have made my legs longer, but that's okay because we do actually have longer legs as we get further east on this series. So it'll end up being okay. But before we come down, I just really want to have some more looks out the window. It's getting dark now down below us. The sun is setting. Anyway, that's incredible. I assume it's time to come down by now, and it is. So we're not too bad. Profile's 1,000, but VSR is 940 and getting less. So what we need to do is we're going to come all the way down. To what are we going to come down to? Where's my dealio here? I'm going to go all the way down. Let's do 2,700. We're aiming for 3,100. So that's how we'll do that. But we'll just put 2,700 autopilot, so that's something to aim for. Let's move over to autopilot then, because we're behind schedule. And we're going to descend 1,000 feet per minute, because that's what our VSR says. So there we go. Nav, descend, 1,000 feet per minute. Alt select. And we just need to watch our speed now, so we'll bring back throttles a little bit. Or else we're going to overspeed. But otherwise, we just keep an eye on this. When our VSR gets to be too high, we'll increase the rate of descent. If it gets to be below 1,000, we'll lower or decrease. Did I say that right? Increase the rate of descent if it gets too high. Decrease the rate of descent if it gets too low. Otherwise, we keep coming back here to check on things. 12 minutes to our waypoint. And that waypoint is actually very close. It's only a couple miles from the runway. 10 miles from the runway, I think. So we will have to keep an eye on that and not screw that up. I was going to say don't screw it up too much. Hopefully not screwed up at all. Alright, so I'm just going to manage the aircraft here by myself, and I'll check back in with you when there's something interesting to discuss. Alright, we're about to enter the soup here. I just wanted to talk about that as it happens because it's going to be super awesome. Look at that, the sky's starting to turn purple because it's getting to be nighttime. Wow. That is so interesting. That is so cool. You kind of see in the horizon there the sun reflecting off the clouds just one last bit before the sun dips down too low to see anything. You can see the lights on the airplane starting to reflect off the clouds. Alright, we're close enough. Let's turn on our landing lights right now. And we also need to get the barometer at our arrival airport. Let me see if I can move this out of the way so we can see the clouds. I gotta find our arrival airport. Let's see if it's gonna show up. There it is. Click on that. Details 3001. So we'll switch our barometer to 3 somehow. How do I do that quickly? 3001. There we go. So barometer or altimeter is set. Landing lights are on. Our weight will determine our landing speed, which we're going to talk about because if you remember the last video, we had some interesting situations. 13,300 pounds. So at 13,000 pounds, we're supposed to land at 104. Trying to keep the clouds in view here, which it pretty much is. There's 104 there. We'll approach at 114. Alright, let's check our VSR. 930, okay, that's still fine. This could be an interesting turnaround, isn't it? Holy moly. Alright, well, we don't need flaps or gear until we get to our waypoint finger. That's still 10 miles out. And we can lose speed in a hurry on this thing. So we'll keep our speed up so we don't drag the approach on any longer than it needs to be. We'll just enjoy these high frame rate clouds I never imagined in my life that I would have heavy cloud cover, yet frame rates in the 40s or high 30s, especially in this aircraft. This is insane. Oh my gosh, yeah, there's the landing lights reflecting, giving the sim a hard time. Wow, that is something else. And I love this. We have no idea where we are. Well, of course you know totally where we are because of instruments, but visually we have no idea where we are. And this is awesome. And we just picked up that some VOR somewhere we just picked up. Wow, this is so cool. Keeping our speed up though. Well, as the approach is just going forever and ever and ever. Ooh, look at that. That's, whoops, let's go like this. That's nice. Like the stars through the clouds. My silly mouse in the way. What's our profile say though? Profile's to 700, which means we're descending way too fast. So we'll go 600 until that levels off. So two things we're going to do differently. We're going to try to land a lot more slowly than my chart says because of that stall thing that happened last time. And we're going to not do any sightseeing. Once we kill autopilot, there's no sightseeing allowed until the plane lands, and if I really want to sightsee, I can reverse. I can rewind the tape and do some sightseeing then using replay. Because we just have too many struggles when I try to sightsee while we're landing. Time and time again. So that is the plan. Those are the two things that'll be different from last time. 780, see how that's climbing up, so that's good because we're at 600, so let's go 800 now. There we go. That should help us out a little bit. That's going to be a tight turn. That's going to be a fun one. Not sure when we're going to kill autopilot yet. I have the altitude set for the last waypoint on the other approach that I actually have printed off. So that's how I determine that number. Assuming it's the same thing from the other direction in terms of altitude and glide slope, which it should be. Holy moly. Not only do we have some amazing scenery, but it's smooth as silk. Wow. Look at that. I guess we have an outside shot. We haven't had one of those. Yeah, it's just outside looks kind of funny. Ooh. So again, this is a published approach. Now there are mountains and stuff. Well, not really mountains, but there are hills. There are obstructions that are several thousand feet. So that might be why it's sending us out and back. Plus, that's kind of a hard turn to make. What's our profile say? 771. Good. We're still on target. So approach checklist. Altimeter set, landing lights on. Too fast for flaps and gear, but our flags are set based on our weight chart. However, we are going to deviate from that as already discussed. We'll start slowing down, get ready for gear and flaps in a moment. Let's zoom this in a little bit. Not sure why our track disappeared, but we are going to the right spot. Let's zoom that even further here. Alrighty. So whatever, we're at 3,000. Coming up on our minimum altitude, I believe. It's kind of foggy. I don't know if this would be an appropriate landing with this much fog. But as long as we can see the airport, which we might be able to do. Let's see. What are we on our VNAV should be 0. Yep, should have cleared out, and it did. That looks like our airport there because we're going to make a sharp turn one way then the other. So let's slow down and get gear down. There we go. And we'll kill autopilot. First set of flaps, props forward. And wow, we're going to float. I forgot about that. Holy cow. Okay, stop floating on me. Let's clean up this. There we go. Oh yeah, see, there's our obstructions. Look at that. Look how high this hill stuff is. So that's why we had to go around it. Second set of flaps. I don't know the area. There's our airport right there. We had 2 and 2 on the Pappy, except now I messed us up with our flap deployment. There we go. Get down. Trim, trim, trim. Why are we so high? Because we had to get around these mountains, I guess. Not mountains, but they're hills. Look at that. It's pretty steep hills. We have to clear that, and we did, so now we got to come down steep, I guess. Oh yeah, we're still good on the Pappy. Very steep descent. Wow. Huh. There we go. Okay, so I'm slower than my flags. We haven't stalled, so far my test is right. Wow, this is a crazy steep descent. Look at this. We're almost touching these buildings. Yeah, we're 1 and 1. One red, one white, unless that's not Pappy. That's not Pappy. That's something else. Wow, okay. Let's not do that. Well, so I can't tell if he stalled or not. Birds. And we had bird strike. Tire blown from the birds. Haha! Nice. Okay, and we are dead. I think. Well, I said we're going to have our worst landing ever, didn't I? Let's see what the blown tire looks like out here. Probably can't tell in the dark. Huh, I like the lightning. Well, that was a disastrous landing. Oh, we did lose an engine. We did lose an engine. We blew a tire and we lost an engine. Oh my gosh. Well, that was awesome. Awesomely bad. Let's let everybody out before something worse happens. Alright, so that was an experiment gone really, really badly. I wanted to play with this too. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible deal. I don't even know what to say about that. What's our flight time on that? 39. Well, okay. Everybody just hang tight while we get help here. Alright, emergency exits are on because it's an emergency. It's an emergency. I don't even know why. Why even bother? Let's just let everybody out. They're all screaming. Oh my gosh. I must say, I've never had that happen before. I've never crashed a plane. What am I doing? I'm so screwed up. I've never crashed a plane in Flight Sim. Ever. Oh, these poor people. Oh. Oh, wow. Actually, it looks like our exit emergency lights are on. Hey, let's have a look at that. They do work. Nice. Alright. Well, they're on now. Everybody out. Everybody please proceed. Proceed to the front of the plane. Oh my gosh. Hey you, the one who can't walk straight, you have a broken leg? Yeah, let's get out of here. This is ridiculous. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed the flight. Hope you enjoyed the frame rates. That's all I can say. I'm not even going to look at that replay. You can just rewind the video if you want. I don't know what happened. I was fixated on the wind flag, the wind sock, thinking it was Pappy. I'm like, oh, my slope is great. And then all of a sudden, we were like off to the side. Almost landed on top of something, which I don't understand. We almost landed on top of those houses, yet we were way too, whatever. There were mountains back there, though. Or hills. So I navigated that just fine. Oh well. I'll catch you on the next one.